Hello everybody, welcome to our online Health and Wellness Expo. Today I am interviewing Paige from NeurotouchNZ. New Zealand. Paige is located down in Te Aomuru, but also works online. So welcome Paige, it's lovely to have you here today.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Like Hazel said, I own NeuroTouch in Te Aomuru down in the Waikato, or up depending where you're coming from today. I have been running NeuroTouch for just over 3 years, full-time just over 2. So I completed my study in the neurological integration systems, which is with Neurolink Global. So you can search them up and have a look about all our training and what we actually do. It was founded by a Kiwi guy who is still alive today. It's been around for over 30 years, and this is working with your neurological system. So we go through and work with all your neural communication pathways, correcting circuits, checking all your body systems, cranial nerves, brain engines, just fully encompassing and making sure everything is working properly. So I got into this through my dad, who was diagnosed with motor neuron disease about nearly 5 years ago now. So he went real alternative, was real stubborn, decided if someone was going to beat it, it was going to be him. So he did a lot of alternative medicines, and he was going along to this treatment, and I was still at university at the time, and I'd come up for holidays and said to Mum, what's Dad doing? Oh, he's off with a treatment with a lady who just touches random points on his body, and then he comes back all happy. And I'm like, you should probably check out what this is about. So I decided to, it was a little bit dodgy there, decided to go along to a session. And I was diagnosed with endometriosis when I was 15. So I've always been quite alternatively minded and doing alternative medicines if I can. So I was like, oh, well, how have I not heard of this? Decided to go along, and it was just insane. Like, she would touch different areas on Dad's body, muscle test on his arm. When his arm was strong, brain understood everything. When his arm wobbled or felt weak, brain had no idea what she was talking about. So for example, simply like if we go here and here, that's all to do with your immune system capabilities. So if your arm's strong in that, when we test it, awesome, immune system's working well. If it falls weak, then to us it's saying, well, as practitioners, that there's something going wrong. So we go through and work out where that disconnection is. But anyway, so yeah, Dad was getting a couple sessions. I went and got one and got asked what I was studying. So I was doing Bachelor of Health Science, or completed my bachelor's degree in rehab and psychology. And at the same time, my last semester while I was doing this, I started studying NIS, the Neurological Integration Systems, which is awesome. So that is where NeuroTouch started with my dad. Unfortunately, he passed away in June last year, but it's awesome. There's a picture of him in my office. We talk about him all day, every day. He's definitely the backbone to NeuroTouch, which worked out well for him in the end, because he was at home full time, and when I finished my studies, meant that he got treatment whenever he wanted, which I think he loved. So
that's really cool. Yeah. That's really awesome. Yeah,
I know. So I mean, bonus for him.
yeah. So,
but yes,
it helped with your endometriosis as well.
Yeah, definitely. So over the last 2 years, I've also worked with emotional clearing, which is with Motion Code Bradley Nelson, and doing dural tissue work as well, which is clearing all your trauma and compensation in the body. Same concept as NIS, was founded by a guy in Sydney who does NIS and is an osteopath. So that I found just so much trauma through all my pelvic ligaments from all my keyhole surgeries and things like that. So like, I've managed to clear anxiety, overthinking too much, helped with my studying as well, digestive problems, bowel problems, bladder issues, my endo symptoms, which were pretty chronic for ages. I've now been medication free for officially 5 months, been ongoing, coming off them the last 18. So yeah, it's definitely a lot of help. Like probably 85-90% of what I do is helped with my own symptoms as well.
That's really fantastic, Paige. It's just, I know a lot of people are just absolutely crippled by endometriosis and other gynecological issues like that, PCOS, or there's just an abundance of those things. So it's really, really awesome to hear that there's like natural therapies like this can really help relieve the symptoms.
Yeah, they're just not discussed enough either. I currently do have 4 NIS babies. So people have to me with infertility troubles. One I didn't even know about until her friend decided to come along and said, "Oh, well, you got my friend pregnant." And I was like, "Wait, hold on." What's going on here?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was awesome in the sense that I didn't even know she'd kind of just given up and now has a healthy baby boy who must be about 4 or 5 months old now. So
Oh wow,
yeah.
that must just be so fulfilling for you, like that you've,
Oh, I was so
people that
excited.
have, yeah, the
Yeah.
people have just, like you say, she'd given up, she'd tried all these other things and nothing had helped, and then she's getting a treatment from you, and all of a sudden, just like that, she's got pregnant. Now she's got a beautiful baby. Like, that must just be amazing for her and so
Oh,
cool for you.
it is so awesome. Freaked my mum out a little bit when I go running upstairs going, I've got 2 babies. By the time there were 2 that happened at the same time. But yeah, I do work from my family home. But yeah, it is very, very
I'm telling you now, when I found out I had 2 babies inside me, I wasn't running up the stairs in delight. I was like, oh my God, I've got 2 babies
sitting at the bottom
inside
of the
me.
stairs.
It was totally the opposite reaction.
Oh no, that's awesome. No, and I mean anything that I do in NeuroTouch, I've tried beforehand. So like I tried NIS before I studied it, did
Mhm.
emotional clearing before I brought it into practice, same with Dural, and a lot of my supplements as well. So the main supplements I work with is the TriGuard, which is our natural antibiotic immune system support with NIS as a
Yeah.
Dr. Phillips product. I do have a lot of crystals, which I do is in my office, but I keep a little bit separate from NeuroTouch. So that's all on NeuroHarmony's
Mhm.
marketing sites and everything like that. So I do, yeah, mainly the TriGuard, and then I do a lot of Young Living oils, which is how we got into.
We got
Yeah.
connected, didn't we? Yeah,
I know.
absolutely. So Paige actually treats my daughter at the moment. I've started with her. She had some anxiety issues coming up with going on school camp and me going away overseas and all of those sorts of things. So I was like, I'm going to start with Imogen, and likely we'll cycle through all of the kids. But Imogen loves seeing Paige, and
Always a goodie person.
she loves your crystal that talks to you. So
Yeah, so like I use muscle testing or use a pendulum as well, which is just like a crystal that hangs on a string, kind of like what's hanging off my neck. But muscle testing and pendulum uses, or people use rods, or my popper actually uses divining needles. They're
oh
all
wow.
just a way for us to communicate with our subconsciouses. So it's like I tell people the muscle testing is like a deaf person using sign language for them to communicate. They sign, they talk to us. For your brain to be able to tell me what's going on, we use muscle testing or pendulums or so things like that. Like we're on autopilot 48% of the time in your daily life, and that's excluding your sleep.
Wow.
And we only they used to say 10% of our brain. It's probably now about 5 to 10% that we only use. So you
Wow.
think all that information that's sitting back there, that through these tools we're able to access.
That's just really fascinating. Like I've through all of this, all of my health journey, like I've just been open to all sorts of different stuff, but I just find it really fascinating how practitioners can communicate with all that other stuff that's going on inside our head
Yeah.
that we just don't even tap into. We just don't even realize it's there.
How did I not know about this before? Like someone should have told me.
Yeah, and I think it's becoming more and more mainstream. People are more and more open to finding natural solutions. I certainly know my journey, I got quite disheartened with the standard go to the doctor, I'm not feeling great. He takes blood tests and says, there's nothing wrong with you. And I'm like, there's got to be something wrong with me.
In the
And
normal range.
yeah, normal
Oh,
range.
we
Normal range
right.
doesn't really cut it a lot of the time.
Like everything has to be optimized. Like same with us. If it's not working to 100%, then
Hmm.
it's not working how it should be. So it's going to come up as a weakness.
Yeah. So I think more and more people are becoming more open, and I think and all of these amazing different modalities that people can tap into effectively. But there's a bit of a pun there because you often are tapping. but
So now they just go straight over my head.
but yeah, there's so many options out there that can really just clear things in our bodies. Like we just don't realize sometimes there's just a block, like that our brain can't talk to a part of our body. And
Oh, we work with that as well. That's the thing. Like we can go through a treatment, and sometimes I think probably lately there's been like 3 people that have gone, I can't work on you today. There's just a block that's up for some reason, whether it's emotional, neurological, or pathological. So I'm
mm,
like, look, no charge today, obviously, but come back and I'll see if I can tap back in, because they actually can be blocks up for where we can't work on people.
Yeah, okay. And so do you find that when that happens, if they come back a week later or whenever it is, that you can then access?
Yeah, well, I've started getting into the habit now of like muscle testing. So sometimes I don't always do this out loud, because if people are coming in and they're skeptical already, this just totally freaks them out. But I'll just go through and ask, like at the end of your session, I might just randomly touch different areas and always muscle testing on your arm. That's literally because I'm asking, like, do I need to see you again? Do I need to see you in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? So just because I did have that occurring a couple of times,
Yep.
I just now muscle test when to see people, which usually works in, it's usually 3 initial sessions about fortnightly apart is awesome. It's more when we get onto that maintenance, I need to make sure that we are checking in when you really need it.
That's so cool.
So that's the thing, I do coaching sessions and teaching people how to muscle test themselves, how to utilize it, and like just getting you really listening to your intuition and subconscious again. So
well, we might tap into that a little bit later in the interview, because I'm with all my hip issues and everything, all the sitting and lack of mobility that I'm getting at the moment, I just feel like seizing up. And obviously, I use essential oils to help with that, and I'm totally having plenty of time with my Shakti mat as well, which is really relieving, because everything's just locking up on me. So maybe you can teach it a simple muscle testing process with that. So that could be quite cool. Yeah, that'd be really cool. I've got a few oils here that I can use. Sorry, what was that?
I'll get you swinging a crystal before you know it.
My daughter would love that. My daughter wants to know whether she can swing the crystal and says, "Mummy telling the truth?"
Still waiting for the day someone walks in with their kid going, "Paige, tell me, is he lying or not?"
Yeah. I can just see my kids. I'll be like, "Is the tooth fairy real?"
Oh yeah, no, that could actually backfire on a couple of parents. Sorry.
Yeah. So maybe we'll just keep that crystal in your office, not in our house. So tell me, Paige, we're now in self-isolation. You obviously touch people's bodies in random locations and muscle test and everything. How has this affected your practice, and how are you adapting your practice so that you can still keep supporting people?
Well, for the last year, I do have some clients that I do distant treatments on anyway. I don't recommend distant treatments all the time, because it's just the way I work. I'd like maybe do 3 distant ones and then see you on the 4th one, or that kind of thing, shuffle it up. But I have clients that some travel from the Coromandel, some can't. So I see some up in the Coromandel distantly. I have a couple in Invercargill. Christchurch, and I was working on 2 over in Australia as well, and there's a potential one coming up in Fiji. So it's a lot more draining on both of us as well, but it's just where I can use our energies and reconnect, connect up, like usually through video chat. If we can't video chat, then just send me a photo of what you look like that day, and I go through and connect through to you and do all the corrections on myself. Or if we can get on that, I will actually work out what's going on, and we'll be able to go through together and correct anything that's happening. So I've had a lot of success in this. It has been real helpful, but this one is real sensitive, I guess you could say, to people who are like, nah, this isn't going to work. If you don't think it's going to work, then just wait till you can see me physically, because that is the biggest block to any kind of treatment. But yeah, it definitely has been quite helpful. So I have a couple people that I see distantly, which is awesome. But yeah, a lot more I am currently just waiting until all this is over, and just messaging people, making sure they're doing okay, and if there's any support that they need in the meantime. Often I'll send you home with little tapping sequence of my own that I've felt helpful, and helpful with other people that'll go, oh look, just go here, here and here and tap your head and that'll be fine. Usually you laugh at me, but that's right, I'm used to that by now. So yeah, have adapted a little bit. It's more actually now just getting people knowing what else I can do. There is a blog that I put out last week on our website, neurotouch.co.nz, all about distant healing and how it does work. Not gonna lie, I can't totally explain the science behind it. I just know it works. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Look, we'll put all your details for your website and everything in the comments underneath this video so people
Oh,
can access that stuff. So
yeah,
definitely go, and I've read a few of your blogs on, and they're very wide ranging in terms of the different topics that you cover and those sorts of things. So it's well worth jumping in and checking out some of the blogs that they've written. Are really, really fantastic. So yeah, so that's cool. I'm glad that you're able to still support people remotely a little bit,
yeah,
if they're open to it and all of those sorts of things. That's really cool. But yeah, doing it, I say, oh, it's all a bit woo woo, but it is, like you say, some things you just can't explain, you just know that
no,
they work. Yeah, yeah.
exactly. No, I have a lot of friends that always ask me where my broomstick is, so that's right, I'm used to all that stuff.
Oh no, that's very cool. Your hair's less pink than it was a couple of weeks ago, so
I know. I need to get it redone. It has faded out, so watch the space.
watch this space. You're going to get your home job for the next few weeks.
I
Yeah,
know. I know. I'm so excited. It has really. I was hoping it'd stick around for this, but that's all right.
oh well, maybe next time. No, that's really cool. So yeah, you've adapted reasonably well, and I guess the other times you're just a eternal learner of different modalities and information and all of those sorts of things.
Oh,
So
I just
yeah,
love learning and doing new things. So this time has actually let me do a lot more planning in that. So I
yeah,
was meant to be doing a relaunch of our website and some new services coming out in May. So that's been put on hold, but it more just means now I get to knuckle down and get all my planning fine-tuned so that I really am delivering what else you guys are looking for.
yeah.
So I guess if you are listening to this, I haven't told a lot of people yet, but I am bringing out health coaching services. So
Oh,
I've finished
brilliant!
my health coaching certificate. So that's exciting.
That's
So
really
watch
exciting.
this, yeah, first to know. But yeah, so that will be coming out about middle of this year. There'll be 4 different coaching services that will be offered.
Yeah.
So this will be around like support with your chronic illnesses, habits and behaviors, diets, fitness as well. So that's exciting. So it just means right now I'm doing a lot more planning. So keeping
So
my
you're speaking to my strategic planning heart there, and hearing that you're using this time wisely and doing a lot of planning and strategizing for your business so that you can come
yeah,
out of this time and just hit the ground running once you can get back into seeing people one-on-one. At least
yeah,
then you get all that stuff, all that admin stuff that you kind of rainy day never have time for
yeah.
stuff.
Never have
Yeah, never have time. So getting through all that kind of stuff at the moment and making the best of that time that you have at home.
No,
So
it's
that's
definitely exciting. If there's a way I can help people more, I'll definitely find a way to do it and go through. And if it means more learning, I love learning. I actually haven't stopped since I left school. So it's been probably like 6-7 years of learning now. Maybe
so
next year I'll have a break.
you did a lot better than me. You found your passion in life like while you're still at university.
I
Whereas
guess
like
it's a good thing, but there was no kind of timeout period, but it's all right.
yeah, having done, like, I enjoyed town planning. Like, I love, I went and did town planning because I love geography and like
Yeah.
architecture and all of those sorts of things. And so I went and did that, and I was great at planning, and I really enjoyed it. But the passion that I now have within, being a wellness advocate for people and really, really helping people to help themselves, like, it's just next level. Like, I just, it really gets me out of bed every day. Whereas like, I'm like, oh, what do you mean I need to write a planning report? Like, it's just it's a different space. I still enjoy planning and helping people create great spaces, and still do some of that on the side. But
Yeah.
helping people to help themselves and become empowered with their wellness and keep
Yeah.
supporting their wellness on the daily, like, oh my gosh, like, yeah. I just
It's a
don't
different
stop.
kind of reward, isn't it? Like there's just so much more behind it. I mean, with what I was studying, I was always going to be helping people. But yeah, it's insane, and it's every little thing you do, whether it is sitting down doing planning, like I mean, like that's helping people. So there's still like the drive behind it when you create oil blends for people as well, which I'm sure you do, or
Yeah,
you've done for a couple times as well.
yeah.
Good old migraines. Yeah, so like it's just yeah, you can't even describe it sometimes.
Yeah, no, it is. It's really neat, and I love all these connections that I'm now making with people in the much broader health and wellness industry, even.
Yeah,
And yeah, I just get so much energy and positivity out of people that work in that space. It's really light relief, as opposed to sort of doing the grind of something that's just kind of there to pay the money and, you know, allow you to live. Whereas this, I'm just so grateful that I've walked the journey that I've walked to then find this now and have the capacity to make it a job for me, which is really, really awesome.
All the right tools as well. If their grinders doing what they do, it's just keep giving them the right tools so that all those mental capabilities and physical capabilities do still remain the same as well. So like totally all behind giving people the right tools so that they can live their best life at the same time as doing their planning. Planning might be someone else's niche and passion and that, but it's just making sure that they are still able to do it as well.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I sort of, as an analogy, like when I was back stuck, broken, adrenal fatigue, all the things, I felt like I had all the balls in the air. And look, and I did, but I felt like I was launching to try and catch those balls before they hit the ground all the time. And I was really clunky, and, you know, like it just wasn't a smooth process to do that at all. And look, now I still have all the balls in the air. I still take loads of different things on. Yeah, but I feel more fluid. Like it's like, it's way more fluid. I can move between spaces. My body feels capable, like it feels strong in my core. It's definitely not strong fit wise. If you followed my Instagram today, you realize that I went and did the little fitness session that the gym around the corner had put out on the concrete. Oh my gosh, so unfit. But my core, like my wellness, my immunity, all of those sorts of things, my hormones feel so much more capable, and my headspace and everything, that my juggling of all the balls is way more fluid. And, you know, it's not such a reach to get to things. It's just like, okay, well, I'll just throw that one a bit higher and catch that one right now. And it's just like, it's a well-greased pan, you know, as opposed to feeling really static and hard work between things. So it's totally worth, you know, like it doesn't matter what your passion is. You don't have to go and throw whatever your passion is. If it's planning, for example, out into the down the toilet, like, okay, well, I have to do this if I want to feel good. No, that's not what it's about. You can become well and look after your body so that you can do those things that you really like, be it planning or whatever it is, be an architect or be an engineer, whatever it happens to be, but you can do that more capably if your body is well and your body is communicating right. So, you know, that's where I think people need to understand, you know, if you look after your body and your environment that you're in, and look after, you know, get NIS to clear pathways and make sure that, you know, you're not holding on to traumas and releasing things like that. It's so awesome for their bodies. And then you become more fluid, I feel, in terms of.
You do enjoy your dream job. You might be in your dream job and you're like, why am I not liking it?
Yeah, true. Yeah, absolutely.
Check through what's going on in your body. Is there anything that you're like, oh, okay, that could be interfering? And it may even be, I have a lot of people that come in and I'm like, oh, cool. So some people come in and go, nah, not telling you anything. You got to work it out, which is always fun. And others just come in and go, oh, such and such has told me to come. So just give me a checkup. And I'm like, lower back. Yep. Okay. Bowel's not good either. Though, no. Yeah, well, that's because your lower back is linked to your bowel processing and that'll be the interference. And they're like, oh, I thought I'd just always have that and I just get used to it. Like there's things going on that people have now just got used to having. It's like, no, you can actually live without all these symptoms and complaints, or even just those little niggles that you've learned to live with.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that's my biggest problem was that I didn't listen to my body. It was throwing red flags at me all the time and I wasn't listening to it. It's like, oh, that sore foot or this or that or the other. And it was just, you know, you just treat the symptom and just carry on, but actually learn to listen to your body, because, you know, your body tells you a lot of stuff.
You need that underlying cause, which I mean is what we correct off. I'm not going to go through and go, oh, I've corrected your immune system. It's awesome. Well, your immune system wasn't working because your spleen was out, which is your powerhouse. So your immune system is actually tired, which either means A, you're tired all the time, or B, you're getting sick all the time. Tired all the time because your body's using up all the resources fighting something that's not there, or you're getting sick all the time and the body actually has no resources there because it's so tired. And so we can actually explain what the underlying cause is to the symptom that is occurring, which is like the biggest reason I love what I do.
Yeah, that's really awesome, Paige. It's really cool. And I hope people hear that and listen to that, and sort of that resonates with them, that actually being tired all the time, you know, oh gosh, I hear that all the time. It's like, well, it's actually your body telling you something. It's not just telling you to go and sleep more, but you know, you might be sleeping just fine. But if you're tired all the time, don't just accept that as your status quo, that that's how you have to be. Sorry, my computer is beeping in the background and I don't know why, but we'll just with that. But yeah, don't just go, oh, I'm tired, I'm so tired, oh, it's because I'm busy. It's like, well, actually, why are you tired? Have you actually taken the time to reflect on why maybe you are tired? And have you actually explored whether there's things in your body that are going on that you're just not hearing right now? So, you know, take those.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like,
So
not even realize.
Yeah. So that's really cool advice to you know, for people to just sort of take on board that, you know, through my thing, it's like, you know, the ankle bone is connected to the leg bone, you know, everything is connected, you know, our gut is so connected to the rest of our body. And that's becoming more and more evident, and more mainstream knowledge, I suppose, and just how toxic our environments are home can be, and the impact of all of those chemicals in our homes, what they're doing to our bodies as well. So there's just all of these different layers that you can slowly begin to understand, and make these little tiny changes in your life that can improve it profoundly in some situations. Yeah. So shall we, do you want to see if you can try and teach me how to muscle test? So with this bugged up hip of mine. So I have got some of our oils here that I use. So this is my one I usually always use, because it's just got a roll on the top and it works mint for all of the sort of aches and pains generally, which is deep relief. And that's a blend already made up by Young Living. I've got peppermint. Peppermint's great for muscle relief and all of those sorts of things as well. And I've got copaiba, which is amazing for inflammation.
Oh my God, I totally say it wrong every time.
I had to work on it really hard. I had to think about it in my head. How do I say it each time? But now it rolls off the tongue.
Nothing like that.
And then the fourth one I've got here is Panaway, which is another blend. And this one kind of smells like the locker room, like it's got those liniment wintergreen smells in it. And that one's also good for muscle relief and all that kind of thing. So I thought, well, I'll bring those four and see if you can teach me how to muscle test on myself remotely, and see if I'm using the right one. Okay.
This is what I do in clinic. So I will never sell you something that you don't need. So if you need TriGuard, I'll go muscle test it on your body. Yep, you need it, but you should take it morning, so many times a day, blah, 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 blah. So I will never actually sell you something that you don't need, or I potentially recommend something. There's no pressure to do it straight away. But this is what I do. Pull out all my oils, muscle test on people, see what combination works specific for them, because everyone is different and your body utilizes things at different times of the day as well. Cool. So I might, let's teach you. We'll do 3 different hand ones. There's a really good one, but it's standing up, and I just can't be bothered standing up. So
then people get to see what I've got on below the waist.
I only dressed up this half, not the bottom.
Yeah, I only dressed up this half.
Awesome. So what you can do is just any finger, just put your fingers together like that, and use one option. You can go like this and just put a bit of pressure on your finger there, or the other one is to put 2 fingers in and pressure like this.
Okay.
Awesome. So what you can do, and I recommend doing it in your head, is like, so for example, I'll go, my name's Paige, nice and strong. My name's Bob. It'll weak. That can be quite hard to get unless you're quite intuitively involved with yourself and real good at understanding it. You can come to you straight away. Some people can take ages to actually learn how to do that. If you find it's not quite right to start with, what I'd recommend is practicing with questions that you know you can get the answer to. So for example, did my great grandmother die in the 1980s? Like, you know, you'll be able to find that information somewhere, but you might not know it now. So that's how you can muscle test it. But I just use it every time I log in with someone. Is my name Paige? Is my name Bob? No. So true and false statements. So you could go, is my favorite color green? Do I hate elephants? Yes, if you would come to my
clinic, you have to be quiet now, because I'm trying to think of something to say that's wrong.
Yeah, I'll be quiet. You practice and let me know how you
Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm good. Okay, yep.
We're good. Okay. So then what you can do is sit one of the oils just on your body, like any part of your skin.
Doesn't matter where. On my skin?
Yeah, I'd put it on your skin. So you could fold it up into your arm if you're on, or
There you go.
if you're a woman, it'd be easy. Cool. And then you just muscle test. Will this oil help with my hip? Because you want to ask for that specific system. Because most likely it will help with a lot of other things, but you just want to make sure that that's what you're working on.
So I'm asking it if it will help with my hip.
Mm-hmm.
Says yes.
Okay, so do that with all 4 and put the ones that say yes in a pile and the one that say no.
Okay, so that was Deep Relief, which is what I've been using. So that's a good start. So this one's peppermint. Maybe not peppermint.
Nope, not peppermint.
Maybe not peppermint. Let's see if my hip wants copaiba.
Sorry, I'm just totally stuffing stuff.
It would help with my hip. There you go. I should use some copaiba. Right, and Panaway is my last one to try.
I just love the smell of that one.
It's great, isn't it? I really love it. Yes.
Okay, cool. So now what you do is, this is how I do it. So totally, if you find different ways that work for you, that's awesome. But that's just how I muscle test. So now put all 3 of them on you and see if you need to use a combination of all 3, because you might find you only need to use one at a time. How many can you fit there?
3 down there. So do I ask myself, do I need all 3?
Yeah, would all 3 in a combination help my hip?
Yes.
Oh, easy peasy. So if it said no, then you'd just go through different combos. So then what you could do, because now your body knows which 3, just go you can take them off you if you like. Just ask, okay, should I use this today? Should I use it? Depends how specific you want to be. If you just want to go, oh yeah, that's cool, I'll use it. But you could ask, do I need to use it every hour? Does it need to be in the morning, evening, night? Should it be for the duration? Yeah.
I asked if I need to use it 3 times a day and it said yes.
Perfect. There you go.
How about that? That's really cool.
So that's the thing, like you might have thought all 4, I'll put all 4 into a blend, that would work perfectly, and it wouldn't do you any harm, but it's just getting the right combination for you.
That's really cool. That's awesome. Oh, perfect. Well, I will add in using copaiba and Panaway as well as Deep Relief.
Know what your husband is when you're sitting at the table going like that.
He's lying to me. No. Put your hand on me, darling. Is he lying to me?
Oh my God. I don't recommend doing muscle testing for future questions, purely because 1, it's just wrong. 2, it can constantly change every day. So some people, it's always my concern when I do teach people how to do this. But yeah, if you are using it for a future question, such as like, I can't even think of one at the moment.
Will this man marry me?
Yeah, exactly. It can change every day. So if you do have a future question that you know you need to make a decision on, but you're just unsure on, ask yourself it every day, because it's going to change every day, because we're constantly going on different paths. So
I think I'll just keep the muscle testing to whichever girls
just
I need
keep
to use.
I just had to put that out there, just if people watching it were like, oh, that's yeah, definitely just use it for health benefits. I go to the health shop and do it by sway testing. So there's another technique which is awesome, because you can hold the supplement, and if you fall forwards means positive, if you fall backwards means negative. So you just kind of keep yourself grounded and just feel your sway.
Wow,
so
that's
really
cool. Actually, I've done an emotional release thing with oils, and part of the process is you put a different oil in front and behind you, and you stand between them, and whichever way you sway towards is the oil that your body needs that day. And I'm like,
people use them at different times and that. So like I go to the health store and test that all the time to see what I need. There's a practitioner that I trained with actually that muscle tests all her foods when she goes to the supermarket.
Oh wow,
she's got a lot of time.
I was just going to say that would be that would take a lot of time. Definitely
like good, like if you have a bloated tummy, okay, is it bloated because of something I ate? Yeah,
cool, that's really neat. I might I might spend some time being curious about my body using muscle testing.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Thank you, Paige. That's a really, really neat tip that people can use. So if you do have essential oils at home, you can try that technique that Paige has just taught us. And do you have a blog about doing muscle testing on yourself at all on your site or
No,
not?
I don't at the moment. No.
Oh, well,
I
you
should,
stick it
that
on the
might be
list.
my blog. Yeah, I always need ideas on what to write about. So yeah, I mean, I do a coaching session in teaching people how to muscle test, which if anyone is interested, yeah, you can totally just contact me because we can do that virtually.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, so I teach you 5 different ways to muscle test yourself, plus the sway test, and how to muscle test other people as well, so you can muscle test your children.
Oh, really cool. I must get that. I must learn how to muscle test my children so that I can work out which oil they need for support. So not to check whether they're lying or not. But sometimes like my kids become quite intuitive because we have a lot of essential oils in the house. And sometimes, you know, my daughter will just say, Mum, can I have some Endoflex tonight? And I was like, yeah, sure. And she's often wanting spearmint, which is a hormone, it helps with her hormones a little bit. So, you know, if she asks for it, I'm just like, yep, sure, here you go. And so we'll just put a drop on her bottoms of her feet and she rubs them together. And yeah, so it would be interesting to be able to muscle test on them, especially if they're quite worked up or I'm not quite sure what's up with them. Yeah, so I will tap in and we can do that another time. So yeah.
Perfect. Help me out with my planning.
Sorry, what's that?
You can help me out with my planning.
Yeah, I can do that too. So we'll wrap up here. Thanks so much, Paige. Yeah, if you've got essential oils, you can obviously do a bit of muscle testing with yourself. And if you want to learn more about what Paige does, tap into her website, have a read there, and of course you can contact Paige directly as well. All the details will be in the comments below this video so that you can connect with her. And obviously, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can contact Paige. I don't know, does it go as far as like, can you treat people like in the UK here, or is that just getting a bit far?
Haven't tried UK yet, but yeah, that could be interesting. Challenge. I love a good challenge.
Love a good challenge. It's always worth it. So yeah, so no, that's really, really fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today and being part of this online expo. Contact Paige if she's resonated with you. We obviously use Paige's services with Imogen, going to see Paige, and it has been beneficial. It has really been beneficial for Imogen, and I look forward to taking my boys on to see Paige as well. Thanks very much, Paige. Go and enjoy your day, enjoy that planning work, and we can connect again soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much.